With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
You've probably heard of the Men in Black. Yeah? And I'm not talking about Will Smith in the movies. Those movies are fine, but we're talking about real life here. The mysterious figures that show up soon after UFO sightings, warning witnesses to keep their mouths shut. Who are they really? Government agents? Aliens? Something else entirely? Today we explore the strange encounters, the eerie visits, and the unanswered questions that surround these shadowy figures. This is a story you don't hear in the headlines. All right, let's start with the basics. The Men in Black, or MIB, if you want to sound like you're in the know. They're these mysterious figures who show up right after people report seeing UFOs or having close encounters with aliens. Picture this. You spot something unexplainable in the sky. Then, boom, some creepy dudes in black suits and sunglasses come knocking, telling you to zip it. The whole thing kicked off in the 1950s when UFO sightings were blowing up in America. Early reports described these guys as emotionless, almost robotic, with an unsettling vibe that made witnesses second-guess their own sanity. One of the first big stories involved Harold Dahl, who claimed he saw a UFO, then got visited by these intimidating black-suited men, warning him not to talk. These encounters weren't just polite, "Hey, could you keep this quiet?" They were full of threats, weird behavior, and sometimes outright bizarre stuff, like the MIB showing up in strange cars or knowing details they couldn't possibly know. So who are these guys? Government agents, alien henchmen, or just some elaborate hoax? That is what we are here to unpack. The people who say they've come face to face with the Men in Black don't describe your typical government official here to help. Far from it. These guys show up like they've just walked off a low-budget sci-fi set, but somehow manage to make you forget everything you know about reality. Imagine a visit so awkward and unsettling, it feels like a bad dream that you can't quite shake. Take Harold Dahl, the guy that I just mentioned. After his UFO sighting, he wasn't just left alone to tell his story. No, these black-suited visitors showed up at his house, delivering what might be the most deadpan and creepy threat ever recorded. No raised voices, no flashy intimidation, just a flat, emotionless warning. Keep quiet or else. It was like being told to hush by a robot with zero social skills, but with a seriously intimidating edge. Dahl later described feeling so rattled that he doubted his own memories, which is exactly what these visits seem designed to do. Then there's Albert K. Bender, a UFO researcher whose story takes the weird meter to 11. After publishing his own UFO research, Bender started getting visits, both in person and over the phone, from people who seemed to know way too much about his life. Shadowy figures lurking around his home, strange phone calls with no caller ID, even mysterious letters seemed more like warnings than correspondence. The pressure got so intense, Bender literally dropped out of the UFO community for years, never really explaining why. When he finally did speak about it, he hinted that the Men in Black were the reason he vanished. And it's not just the behavior that's odd. The Men in Black themselves don't fit the usual secret agents mold. Witnesses described their cars as sleek, black, and sometimes downright alien-looking. Not your standard government sedan or SUV, but something out of a sci-fi dream or nightmare. They appear almost out of nowhere, sometimes arriving silently without so much as a knock. The knowledge these MIBs have about witnesses is another layer of creepiness. They know details they shouldn't possibly know. Personal stuff, private info, like they've got a copy of the tiny key to your diary. The encounters range from unnerving to downright threatening. Some say the MIB tried to intimidate them with veiled threats about their safety or sanity. Others got a more polite, almost robotic warning. Forget what you saw, and nothing bad will happen. But the message is always the same. Keep your mouth shut. And the effect these visits had? Psychological. Witnesses often felt paranoid, confused, and second-guessed their own memories. What makes these encounters even more puzzling is how inconsistent they are. Sometimes the MIB act like government agents. Other times, like something else entirely, something alien or supernatural. There are reports of them appearing in impossible ways, like vanishing into thin air or showing up when no roads are nearby. These stories push the limits of believability, which is exactly why they've endured as such a mystery. So what's really going on here? Are these just secret government operatives trying to hush up UFO witnesses? Or are the men in black something stranger? A warning from another world or dimension? Maybe a psychological operation? Whatever the answer, these strange encounters leave more questions than answers. And that's what keeps the legend of the MIB alive. Now, here's where things get tangled, and where conspiracy theories start to bloom like weeds in a forgotten garden. Who exactly are the men in black? Government agents or alien operatives? Who even knows? The most straightforward theory is that the men in black are some sort of government hush squad. Think secret agents tasked with silencing witnesses to UFO sightings and alien encounters. Given the Cold War era where these stories began, it's not a stretch. Governments around the world were obsessed with keeping secrets, especially about anything that might threaten national security or their grip on the public narrative. The black suits, the deadpan warnings, the odd cars, they all fit the image of a covert agency trying to stay under the radar while controlling the story. But there's a problem. Official government agencies don't exactly roll up in mysterious flying black cars or vanish into thin air. Plus, the knowledge these MIBs have about witnesses sometimes goes beyond what a government database could hold. Some reports describe them as knowing intimate personal details that suggest something more supernatural, or at least less earthly. Like they could be reading your mind or hearing your thoughts. That's where other theories take off. Some believe the men in black might be extraterrestrials themselves, using human disguises to keep an eye on us or to control what we know about them. It reminds me of the Men in Black movie, the Edgar suit. And if you buy into that, these guys aren't just government spooks, they're alien emissaries playing a long game of hush and surveillance. Then there are more paranormal explanations. Could the Men in Black be supernatural beings? Shadowy figures sent to mess with the witnesses' minds, to blur the lines between reality and nightmare. Some suggest they might be interdimensional watchers, slipping in and out of the world to keep tabs on things best left unseen. The truth is, none of these theories can be proven, at least not yet. The Men in Black remain a mystery wrapped in black suits. Official silence, contradictory witness accounts, and the eerie nature of their appearances keep the speculation alive. Why would any group, government, alien, or otherwise, go to such lengths to keep people quiet? Because if UFOs and alien contact are real, controlling the story is power. Keeping the public in the dark maintains control, avoids panic, and preserves the status quo. Or maybe the whole thing is actually crafted in myth, a modern legend born from fear, secrecy, and a craving for answers that we don't have. Either way, the Men in Black refuse to be pinned down. They slip through every explanation like smoke, leaving us with a question. What are they hiding, and why? All right, so the Men in Black started as those creepy, unnerving figures lurking in UFO folklore. But somewhere along the way, Hollywood got involved, and suddenly they went from shadowy enforcers to blockbuster movie stars. The 1997 movie Men in Black, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, which I've mentioned a couple of times, turned legend on its head. Instead of frightening visitors telling you to shut up, these guys were now cool secret agents protecting Earth from alien chaos. It's fun, it's slick, and it totally changed how people think about the Men in Black. Suddenly, they weren't mysterious government thugs. They were heroes, and a whole lot less scary. But this pop culture makeover muddied the waters. The real-life stories, threats, intimidation, unexplained knowledge, got wrapped up in jokes and sci-fi tropes. For many, the MIB became a punchline or a cool movie reference rather than something genuinely eerie. That said, the legend didn't disappear. The Men in Black keep showing up in books, TV shows, comics, and internet lore, sometimes blending fact and fiction so well, it's hard to tell one from the other. UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists still report encounters with black-suited figures, but now they're often met with skepticism or dismissed as just a Men in Black story. So what's left of the truth when the myth turns pop culture icon? Pop culture made the Men in Black accessible and entertaining, but diluted their original creep factor and mystery. So here we are. The Men in Black remain a mystery. Decades of stories, but no solid proof. Why do these legends stick? Maybe because they tap into a deeper fear that someone's always watching, ready to silence us. Some say it's psychological or mass hysteria. Others see it as part of our culture's obsession with secrets and control. Whatever they are, government agents, aliens, or just stories, the Men in Black have become symbols of the unknown and the blurred line between fact and fiction. So keep your eyes open. The truth might be out there, lurking in a black suit. Thanks for listening to this episode of 10-Minute Mystery. I'm Joe, the host, and if you're a new listener to the podcast, welcome. Make sure you hit subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Rate and review if you enjoyed it, and most importantly, share 10-Minute Mystery with your friends and family. If you like the vibe of this show, the brief and bingeable aspect of it, but you want to hear something a little darker, or maybe you've run out of mystery episodes and you want to branch out to something a little creepier, you can listen to my other podcast. It's called 10-Minute Murder. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to 10minutemurder.com. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you again for listening to 10-Minute Mystery. See you next time.
Breaking news from the stadium tonight as an anonymous fan foot the bill for 55,000 hot dogs, bringing that sweet tubed meat to everyone in attendance.
Free dogs! Yeah!
55,000 hot dogs? What does that even cost?
While the identity of this Frankfurter philanthropist remains anonymous, their all-beefy generosity will go down in history.
The new Mega Millions. More to win means more to give. How you spend it is up to you. Yeah!
For game odds and details, visit sceducationlottery.com.